Follow-up file. On October 20th, 2020, an F-18 fighter jet that took off from Naval Air Station Lemoore in Kings County crashed in eastern Kern County during a practice mission.
No one was hurt, but the $70 million jet was lost. 17's Jenny Ha has the breakdown of what happened that fateful Tuesday.
We filed a Freedom of Information Act or FOIA request in 2020 asking for the Navy's crash report. We finally received the analysis. Long story short, it was pilot error from beginning to end.
Just shut down the wrong motor. It doesn't get any more basic than that. The airmanship, taking your time and stepping through the emergency procedures would have probably prevented this mishap.
Over 4 years ago, on October 20th, 2020, a F-18 fighter jet crashed near Naval Air Weapons Station China Lake in East Kern.
Where you have a smoke column visible from the station near Roberts Roost.
This was near the intersection of highways 14 and 178 and caused road closures and affected traffic for days. The shocking news sent then Supervisor Mick Gleason running out of a Board of Supervisors meeting.
Just had a major aircraft accident in China Lake. I don't know what's going on.
Mick, if you need to step out.
I do.
17 News also rushed out to the site. Years later, in 2025, we're finally learning what led to the Mayday call with the help of Matthew Whiz Buckley. Whiz is a U.S. Navy fighter pilot of 15 years who flew F-18 Hornets in over 40 combat missions. He spent 5 years at Naval Air Station Lemoore.
Definitely great airspace for flying. And not a lot of people around. So we put these master jet bases usually out in the middle of nowhere for a reason, so civilians aren't at risk.
The jet in question is the F-18E Super Hornet, the single-seat model. F-18 stand for Fighter Attack Jets, and they can carry missiles, bombs, and other weapons. The two-engine jet is used by the U.S. Navy and costs about $70 million.
Once you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy. The jet actually becomes an extension of you.
During emergencies,
there are things called immediate action items, so we have to memorize emergency procedures.
The mishap pilot, that's how he's described in the report, and his name was redacted, got a hydraulic hot caution message. The report explains the F-18E model has one engine on either side of the jet. If a hydraulic 1 hot caution message pops up, you're supposed to turn off the left engine and the right engine for a hydraulic 2 hot caution.
So he executed the immediate action item for that hydraulic hot caution, which says, hey, secure the engine. Well, he secured the wrong engine. The right engine was supposed to be secured. He ended up securing the good engine. Hydraulic hot caution is a big deal. Gears and things are spinning back there, and it needs fluid to keep it cool. So you getting a caution like that, the reason you have to shut that motor down pretty fast is because that's going to result in a fire.
Whiz says the pilot was more than qualified to be operating the jet, having been a naval aviator of about 4 years with no prior aviation mishaps. But the report points out he had a history of responding poorly in emergencies.
If things go wrong airborne, things kind of break down in his cockpit, which clearly is one of the main reasons of this mishap.
Here's a timeline of events according to the report. Around 8:40 a.m., the jet took flight as part of Lemoore's VFA-14 Strike Fighter Squadron. Each of the 4 pilots, including the mishap pilot, flies the single-seat F-18E Super Hornet. This day, they were carrying practice bombs and inert rounds of 20mm ammunition. They planned to fly from Lemoore to Superior Valley Tactical Training Range in China Lake, execute their practice mission, and then fly back to Lemoore. But at 9:46:54, the first High 2 hot caution message appeared. The squadron's executive officer ordered the 2 other members to return to Lemoore while he attempted to assist the mishap pilot. From 10:05:24 to 10:06:10, when the pilot ejected himself, the aircraft was out of control. The report details after ejecting, the pilot lost his vision momentarily, but felt the acceleration of the seat, the shock of the parachute opening, and watched the aircraft crash and burn. Whiz says he would have done a few things differently. Initially, the mishap pilot was directed to return to home base, despite Naval Air Weapons Station China Lake being closer.
There is no way in hell with a hydraulic hot caution that I would want to fly over the mountains all the way back to Lemoore. Period. Land the plane on the closest concrete.
Whiz also says the pilot should have restarted the functioning engine that he accidentally turned off.
What's the worst thing that can happen? You're about to crash anyway. If that thing restarts, and now you got two motors, you can land safely.
After the crash, federal, state, and local firefighters responded to the scene where the jet was fully engulfed in flames with small brush fires around it. The pilot was admitted to Ridgecrest Regional Hospital.
How lucky would you say this pilot was that, first of all, he didn't die, thankfully, but also, again, there wasn't a huge fire that started as a result, or that civilians were injured as a result?
Oh, 100%. It's an act of God, in my opinion. Hopefully he can learn from this and still serve his country.
A spokesperson for the Naval Air Forces tells us the pilot is still serving in the Navy. Jenny Ha, 17 News.